So, usually, if those who are new, usually here on Friday we will do Q&A sessions. So the questions already been, they already sent the questions earlier to me, and I got a number of questions here. And I think that today also, if so happen that you all may want to ask some questions on the chat, then you may type it down. I think I can able to finish it not too. I'm getting quite fast today. Quite a number of questions also actually. Not to say there are few. This one. Okay. All right. Let's go to the screen. All right. And yes. Okay. View, focus. Okay. Let me can see. Y'all can see the words? Okay. Good. Okay. Not too difficult. The first one. All right. Bande, this morning when I did the sitting meditation, the pain arose on the left thigh. It moved up and down. I just aware of it. I also noticed that the head was always down to the left. Slowly, the thigh pain disappeared, then arose on the left knee, and it got stronger and stronger. I just noted it and see it as it is: a knee pain, neck tight, unpleasant feelings, etc. Suddenly, the joy arose, not too strong, although the knee was still painful. I noticed that the knowing mind started to doubt. I just noted it. When the joy disappeared, the knee pain became closer to the head. My question is, will joy and painful feeling happen at the same time? Can Bante please advise? Okay, so now you have painful feelings that come up in your legs and the left thigh, and then it slowly move, and then you noted it, and as it is, as they are. Then later part you said that your joy arose. So will the painful and joy feeling happen at the same time? Yes, they can happen at the same time. Before we answer this question, if you have a basic understanding how joy and painful feeling arises at the same time in our everyday life also. Now, let's say you love chili, isn't it? You like to eat chili, right? But when the chili comes in the tongue, it's burning, right? But happy or not? You're happy, right? If those can eat chili, if those can eat the chili, and then they like it spicy, and when they have that spiciness, you feel happy. But the spiciness, when it hits the tongue, it is actually in a way unpleasant feeling. But the mind perceives it as pleasant. Is something like that. Or another way is this, that you go for a massage. It tekan and push and tarik and pull and bend your knee and your arm and your leg and your neck, everything. But then you feel good. You feel good. Although the body is painful, right? So it happens. Even in our everyday life, not only just in meditation. Now, in meditation, whenever you notice joy, or whenever you notice the painful feelings, usually the after a while you may not able to bear up. Once you are not able to bear up, that is where your anger or your aversion will come in. That is another story altogether. But the thing is that right now that you can able to bear it up, Now you able to bear up means that you can able to notice the pain carefully, as what you mentioned just now. You can notice it this way, that way, this pain, that pain. It comes, it goes, it getting more, it getting stronger, which is good. That means you are paying attention to the object clearly, and this time the object is pain. Now, while the pain you are noting it, this is the bodily painful feelings. Yeah, but the bodily painful feelings. But because the mind can able to notice it clearly, the mind can notice it clearly. It means that the mind is able to be interested in the nature or the changes that are occurring at that present moment. Occurring, the pain is getting more, is getting less, it's getting stronger. It move here, it change this, which is good. So the time that mind is that joy arises. That joy, and here it comes as an interest. You kind of feel like you are interested in what is going on. Now, when that interest comes in, this is what you mentioned after that. Let me this one go in again. When you getting interested now, you see, the next thing is that the knee pain become closer to the head. There's also something there, because when the joy comes in and after it disappeared, that means that this time the concentration level and also the mindfulness becomes stronger, in a sense that as if like you are noticing the pain is as like near to the noting mind, as if like it's closer. Sometimes yogi tend to notice these things also. Sometimes when they have a good sitting, then they notice these things. And this time the pain does not affect the yogi that much. Does not affect the yogi that much, because that time he can able to bear up and then he can able to notice them. So it's perfectly all right. So this type of joy, they are mental type of joy, the mental joy. Whereas these painful feelings is the bodily painful feelings. So they occur as if like they are as if at the same time. So it's perfectly all right for you to notice these things. So this is something like that. So this one also, this type of joy when it occurs during this time, this one also is can be considered also as a factor of enlightenment, which is the joy factor of enlightenment. But we don't worry about it too much. It's just the nature of that joy. It arose in that way. So you note it in that way. So it's perfectly all right. Okay? Okay. Next question. Next question also on practice. All right. Let me make it a bit slightly bigger. Okay. In one of my past Vipassana meditation, I noticed black smoke appeared at my forehead and I noted it. It gradually grew stronger and enveloped my whole body, and I was completely concealed in darkness. Fear arose. I noted the fear, and in this noting process, the dark, thick smoke slowly faded away. The mind and body slowly brightened up and felt refreshed. Could Bhante kindly advise why dark smoke as I have been experiencing light before this sitting? Thank you. Okay. Now, you may notice this dark smoke that comes in in the practice. There are sometimes a few close explanation. Not to say that I'm perfectly correct, I wouldn't say I will cover everything also, but because I do not know exactly what it meant by black smoke, because I've not experienced what they are experiencing at that moment of time. But I can safely guess there are a few things. At least there are two things here. One is that the sloth and torpor may start to come in. One of the thing is that like this type of sloth and torpor starts to come in. Now it comes in the sense that it does not come in as like your heavy type of sleepiness. It doesn't come in as a heavy type of sleepiness. It comes in as just like a dark smoke. It's just slowly just envelop the whole mind. It envelop the whole mind and the whole body as if you're concealed in the darkness. But it doesn't make you like very strong sleepiness. This is when it's strong sleepiness, that means the sloth and torpor has gone into a overdrive already. It's gone to strong already. But this one is more like a very slight sloth and torpor. And you may not know it as a sloth and torpor even. You may know it as just a black smoke at this time. The fear arose, yes, because here the fear arose because we may not know what is it about, So you noted it, which is good. And then you noted the fear. You note the fear. So you note the fear, because when you note the fear, the mindfulness comes in. When the mindfulness comes in, then it begins to push away all this blackness out, and then you become brightened up and you felt refreshed, which is something like that. So sometimes you don't have to notice the like this one, because another defilement is already coming up, and this time the fear that comes up, you know the fear, which is correct. So this is one thing. Another thing is that maybe not so near, but maybe it's also sometimes because of the faculty of energy when it drops. Now you see, just now when I talk about the sloth and torpor, when the sloth and torpor, when it drops, it also the background, the energy also drop. Okay, sorry. Now the energy also drop. When what happened is that the energy also drop. But this time, it may not come in with sloth and torpor. It's just sometimes it's just drop only. But sloth and torpor may not come in yet. But which I don't think will be the case now. But sometimes it may be the case for those who are more advanced meditator. Now you see, when you are in the continuous mindfulness, when you can able to notice a lot of things, your mind is bright. Your mind is clear. Not bright like a sun bright. Mind, it is clear, it has brightness there. You can able to notice notice these things and that. But when the faculty of this energy, when it starts to drop, you see the mind begins to darken. As if like surrounding is the noting mind becomes darkened. But the sloth and torpor hasn't come in yet. So this time it came with the darkness, and then because you don't understand what is going on, the next thing, the fear arises. Now again, if the fear arises, if this happened, just note it, and the mindfulness comes in, then it felt brightened again. So this one is a bit more, especially when it comes to the faculty part. That one is a bit difficult. But this is one way that when you are skillful in meditation, you begin to aware of the signs and symptoms of how this faculty begin to dip a little bit. It's not deep that much. Sometimes it's just a bit of dip only. Your mind already aware of the dipping of the energy, and then straight away by knowing it, the whole mind goes back into optimum noting mind already. So this time I guess that it's most probably connected with a very weak type sloth and torpor. A weak type sloth and torpor, which is a form of the mind. Because the nature of sloth and torpor is to slowly to remove the energy. So this is something like this. Now the next thing I want to explain also, as you go into Vipassana meditation, there will be a lot of times you may not understand what is going on with the mind. You do not know what is this all about now. But at that moment of time, you can able to notice it. You can able to be aware of it clearly. You are able to mindful of it. You can able to note it. You can see it change. But theoretically, intellectually, you do not know what is it. So that time, you must not give in to your curiosity. Don't give in to your intellectual, all this question mark, what is it is about. And then that time is because that a lot of times yogi, they don't understand theoretically what they are noting. They become very agitated. Agitated, then only doubt come in, or the fear come in, something like this. And then that is where they get stuck, in the sense. They sort of like, they want to understand it. They want to have a conceptual understanding first before they want to know those things. So hopefully that, those who have that type of tendency, you take note of that type of mental tendency, because it can be a big hindrance. So you put all your intellectual part aside. Now, if those type of, for example, this type of dark smoke come in, you do not know what is it. Just note it, dark. If fear comes in, fear. As long as you bring in the mindfulness again, then this thing, the sleep, or that darkness, or that sloth and torpor, or that fear, or even anger, or whatever, they will slowly go away because the mindfulness comes in. But if you don't do that, if you don't know them, then you're going to start to think about them. What is it? You're going to bring in more skeptical doubt. The fear is going to go stronger. All your hindrances is going to go stronger at that, and then it will disrupt your whole meditation part at that moment of time. So hopefully you hopefully you don't do it. But for here, as long as you note them, perfectly all right. You keep noting them. Even the fear comes in, you note the fear, which is correct. Because you're going to re-arouse back to re-strengthen the mindfulness again. Okay. Next question. All right. Okay. In the last lesson, Bhante drew references from the commentary on Kasibara Bharadwaja. Can Bhante show us where to find the commentaries of the Pali or Pali Canon or Suttas, as they are useful for us when we are doing self-study? Okay, thank you. Now this one I got it from you see, let me show you this type of books first. Can you all see? Okay. Discourse of the Buddha. All right. You see it opposite now. Can you all read now? Okay. This book is this thick. This thick. And there are, for suttas, they already got like 4 books, I think. 4 books about this thick. Just Sutta Tipitaka on the Sutta alone. Not any commentary. And because of this book also, they also have commentary inside there. Yeah? Now, this is if those of you are not what do you call that? You don't want to go into all this digital thing and looking for all your, this one, because as a monk and also I travel, I cannot be carrying all these books, isn't it? It will be impossible for me. One will be another luggage for just books alone, which impossible. So every time now is in the digital format. In the digital format, you can buy these things. You can buy these things nowadays. The Bhikkhu Bodhi, is translated very good translation by Bhikkhu Bodhi, and they translate them, the sutta, and also behind there are notes for you to refer to what the Buddha meant by this thing, and they have an explanation, especially sometimes from Bhikkhu Bodhi himself, or he tell you how to reference to another sutta, or he quote the commentaries and he put it as a note. And then it's good that you can refer back about what the Buddha mentioned. Now, sometimes in the website, there are also other translators do the translation, but they do not translate the commentary, because again, sometimes translator they are also monks, or they also have their perception that they just like the sutta alone, but they don't want the commentary. So Bhikkhu Bodhi also draws out from the commentary. Now in the digital format, now let me share with you. Now you see, okay, can you all see the Kasipa? Okay, you see the book here? This is yesterday what we, not yesterday, on Wednesday, that's what we did, this book. Now, in this book, let me go to my library. You see just now the book that I showed you, the discourse here, my cursor here, you see? This is in the digital format. Now, in the digital format, you can buy this. You can buy this in Kindle from Amazon, or you can also get this from Wisdom Publication. Then they give you a different format. You want a PDF format, you want a Mobi format, you want a Kindle format, then it's all, you can get it also. But of course, you have to pay for it. But it's not that expensive. It's not expensive. It's not that expensive. It's considered very cheap. So because that is easier for you to reference. So it all depends on you. Which one do you like? You like you can touch and hold or tangible, or you can like the digital format. For me, I prefer nowadays the digital format, because the advantage of digital format, you don't have to carry the book. Another advantage is that it's easy for me to search. It's easy for me to search. For example, let's say, okay, just now was this book, Samyutta Nikaya. Sorry, not Anguttara Nikaya. I took the wrong book. Anyway, this book also, you have to, all these books you have to buy. You have to buy. Sometimes you may get it from the internet also. Yeah, some people upload those things. But for me, another thing is that when I have these things, it's easy for me to search. For example, there's a search button here. I just search for, let's say, hindrances. Okay. Hey, wrong. Wait, hold on. You see, I just search for hindrances. Then everything about hindrance will start coming in, and I just click wherever I want to go. If I click, I will go to that particular page already. So if I click like that, then you see all the about hindrances, anything about hindrances, it will come in. So I can slowly read, So sometimes if when I give a talk also, sometimes I do that too, So I want to do for, let's say, the 5 hindrances, sometimes I do that. I want to do for the Noble, I also do that. And then you know how to pull up all the sources and this thing and that. So it's easier. But you have to buy those things. Now, in this particular sutta, okay. Now, in this particular sutta, for example, okay. This is yesterday the day what we read. You see that the word faith is the seed, austerity is the rain, right? Okay, so now if I want to go to know what the Buddha meant by the faith is the seed, then there's a 461 here. There is a note there. So I just press on it. Now then it goes to the you see the 461 on the top there. Now let me go a little bit bigger for you to see. You see the 461. Then after that he says about why did the Blessed One begin with faith? Because the Brahmin was repeated, then everything about it comes in. Yeah? So the Bhikkhu Bodhi translated the sutta and also translated this one. Now the translated the commentary so that we can able to understand what is the commentary, and then he'll give you more about what it means by austerity, rain, and so on. Now, this particular sutta, on this one, sometimes suttas are not just one part. Sometimes the sutta also have a different, they go into sometimes, if you're seeing it, this in the Samyutta Nikaya, sometimes it also appear in Anguttara Nikaya. But this particular sutta also appeared in another called the Sutta Nipata. This one, the Sutta Nipata, is where your Mangala Sutta, this one is another, you see there's the same type of sutta. But I want to show you something else, Here at the side there, you have a loving kindness sutta, This is your loving kindness sutta every time you hear the monk chant. You have a Alavaka sutta where the demon, that one is a very fierce deva, So also in here. There's a Mangala sutta, blessing or something like that. Something another, somewhere. This blessing also Mangala Sutta, Mahamangala Sutta. You see, so this one also it's quite a very good sutta. That's why. Then also he give you a lot of explanation. Now this explanation again it's a different commentary again. It's a different commentary from the Samyutta that I showed you. This one is even more elaborated, more things for you to learn. And they sometimes they comment even in each sentence or each word also. So the commentary also is very long. Now this one, for example, it's the same also. You see, the faith is the seed, austerity is the rain again. It's the same, this one. It's the same, it's the same paragraph. Same verse compared to the one that I show you from the other book. Now here again, let me show you. Then there is a commentary connected to it. Commentary time. There you see another one. This is the commentary part already. Now we go to the commentary part of this sutta. What is the origin of the sutta? Then they'll tell you how is the origin of the sutta. Then they tell you. Then they tell you the background, what the Buddha do. The 2 periods of activity, what the Buddha do in the forenoon activities, after midday activities. You want to know how the Buddha lived and something like this. Then he foresaw that this Kasipara, this Brahmin will definitely become Arahant in the future. That's why the Buddha gone to him. Now let's see the faith is the seed one. How did they this one? Okay. This is quite a lot of explanation if you if you like to what you meant by this. So it again sometimes. Thus have I heard also they explain it quite a lot of things, many parts of the suttas, and sometimes if you want to know your Mangala Sutta and all that, and then you go here, and then there's so many things for you under the Mangala Sutta. Not to say that No, not to say that you just have to think about it, but this one is a lot. Now let us go to that particular this one. You see, wait, where's the faith is the seed. You too ascetic must plow and sow, and having plowed and sowed, you can eat. What is the purpose? They tell you what is the purpose of why he said that too. So there's a lot of there. Faith is the seed. Can you see? No, here I highlighted. Here is again, faith is the seed. Then they have a different form of explanation again. A different form of explanation, and there's a lot. And then you have to read. Why is it that the faith is the seed? Now, then again, faith secure provision from a journey, and then they collate, from different parts of the sutta, and then they put it under here. That is how extended commentary can go. So a lot of things that you can able to understand if you want to research on it. To research on these type of things. Here you see, here also they give you the faith as the characteristic, which also we gone through on Wednesday also. So they give you there are 5 kinds of seed, what seed and what everything. So there's so many things that you can go through. There's so many things that if you are love to do research into this type of things. Honestly, for me, if I don't give these talks, I don't go to do all these things also. Because I'm forced to do these talks, and because we are not in the stage of meditation, then the theory part also we need to have a little bit more. And one of the things is that I don't have much is the theory part. Although I can understand if when I read the thing, but I don't have much on the theory part, so I have to source from all these things in order to present the Dhamma in my own understanding, because of the practice. The reason I do all this, because the reason I don't have all this so much of the text and language and so on. Even Pali, as I said, I'm not an expert into it. I know a number of words here and there. That's about it, but more than that, I don't have all these things, because the nature is that for me, I have enough Dhamma, good enough Dhamma to propel me into practice. Not enough Dhamma so that I can dig out more intellectual part of it, that all the Dhamma of it, go deeper into it. I don't have to do that. I mean, to me, it's good enough for me to propel into practice already. Enough for practice, and then we don't need so much of all these suttas and so on. Whatever is good for you, to give you that inspiration, to push you to mental development. That is the path. Not more and more knowledge, but nothing on the mental development. So this is my purpose. So now, because I'm not in the practice, I have to give a Dhamma talk. Then therefore, I research a little bit more on this type of this one. So there's a lot of things. This whole library, it's a lot of books, just for me and a few other monks to use. Now you're looking at me, behind me, you see a number of books. All these books behind me, is all Samba Palapa, it's all nonsense. Behind me, all about, there's a one book there on the red color, it's on top there. Japanese garden and growing bonsai. I don't need to read all these things. Then there's a Pol Pot, and then there's a Stalin and a Shakespeare and Sampa Palapa and all here. But those books are there, and behind what you see, because right now behind you can't see. And let me show you. here you see there's another, this one is all the good books. Then behind here, then this one, all the, which I'm facing right now. This is all the heavy stuff. Here, something like that. So this is the some of the things. But honestly speaking, so many books here. Honestly, I don't think I touch 5% or so. I use it for research, but I don't like go and slowly go and read. No, that's not my style. All right. Go back to this one, the Q&A. Okay, next question. Okay. Next one. Okay. Can you all see? Bhante, regarding the 5 spiritual faculties and 5 powers, I feel that there is no progress in my meditation, even though I've been following this Vipassana meditation for quite a while. How do I practice this Panchapalani in order to gain progress and balance it? Thank you, Bhante. Okay. I mean, this question also, for many of you, also something like that. Not just only this person. Now, here, I understand. One of the things is that this Vipassana meditation is a very difficult meditation. This is not a simple meditation. When it's not a simple meditation, a lot of times, many yogis will struggle. And if you somehow or another, you don't meet with the right person, then it's going to be difficult for you to understand the nature of Vipassana. Because I met with Reverend Sujiva, I met with Sayadaw Nyaponika, I met with Sayadaw U Pandita. These people, they can describe things clearly for me. When they describe, of course, they don't describe everything. A lot of things also you have to depend on oneself to understand. Now, once I understand this thing, I put it into practice. And it takes years to practice. Not like, oh, Bhante, 10 days, I cannot tahan already, I want to go back already. Like that, if every time you go for a retreat, 10 days, 2 weeks, then it's going to be very slow. There are some people, I met with devotees. Then when they go to retreat, they calculate how much they are going to meditate. They calculate first. This year, I'm going to do at least 2 weeks first. 2 weeks. Next year, maybe 2 weeks. Maybe I do for 15, 16, 17 or 18 days like that. 2 weeks, 14. I'm going to go more. Then they go more. I said, if like that, you're going to do, you're not going to progress very far. Because one year, 365 days, you minus 14 days to do your meditation, you think that a big deal. You think you're not you're not wholesale, nothing yet. And just to calculate for you some more, within your 2 weeks, if you meditate, you got to minus first 3 or 4 days because that time you are sleeping and thinking and so on. Right? Then minus 2 days also, the last day and the day, 1 day before that, and sometimes 1 day, 2 days before that. So you may have 5 days, you are not going to be able to meditate. So you got some 5 days, maybe got 10 days to meditate. What meditation? How much can you grow with 10 days, you tell me? You think that just by practicing 2 weeks, everything can go very far? No. But I'm not discouraging you. If you even have 2 weeks, if you have 2 weeks of retreat, it's still much better if you don't come in at all. Even those people within 10 days of meditation retreat, generally, within 10 days of meditation retreat, I see them progress much more better than those people who don't come in for retreat. They just do daily practice and they go further than these people who already been practicing for 5 years or 10 years of daily practice and not going into a meditation retreat. Within like 10 days or so, you can see that the progress of these yogis, if they train properly, is better than those who don't come in. But to train for further development, this is where you need to put in more time already. You need to put in more time and you need to really have to firm. That is to say, that is to say that you have to really give up other things that you are doing, even your job, even for your family, even for your career's sake or whatever it is. And then that time is just for mental development only. And how long should you go? As long as you can. Even you have to go in there for 1 month or 3 months or 1 year or 3 years or 5 years. Just do it now. After all, it's just 5 years of your life only. If you can, if you really can. So it takes time. So many yogis I have met they don't come in one time. They come in again and again and again and again and again and again and again. The same face again and again, which is they find the development part of it. Once they find the development part of it, they know how to come back again and again. You give them, if I were to have a 6 months retreat, they will join me for 6 months retreat. Some, I don't know if they say all, but when you do these things, then you'll find that the meditation can go very far. It's just an investment. If you put the time and money into your business and you invest your time, and for 20 years, you become a CEO, you become whatever, you become multi-million, multi-millionaire. But the thing is that if you do your business also, you sporadic, put a bit here and there, then it's going to be very slow. So the same thing with the meditation also. How much time are you going to really invest into it, and how much energy and effort are you going to put forth? So only when you do that, you can develop these faculties, become stronger. Then only you will see that how all these things are happening. Of course, I can't specifically say when are you going to reach those places, because each and every one of us are very different. Some, but very, very few, they can progress quite fast. Some or many actually takes a while to develop. And those who take a while to develop, if they are doing it again and again, repetitively come in for a retreat, and then they see that they also progress too. Progress is something like this. If you have a graph, like one on the bottom is the timer, and then the y-axis is the progress. What happened in the beginning part of your meditation is something like that. In the beginning, your progress looks like it's almost parallel to the x-axis, the time. As if you're going very long, but you don't see any going up. The graph haven't going up yet. So it's going like gradually, very slow. Then only when you start to hit certain mental clarity and you practice, then you see that the graph will start to go up more steep, in that sense. And then that only you see the progress is very clear. But in the beginning part, for many yogis, is a struggling part. So you have to remind yourself, the beginning part is all of us have to struggle. Okay, so this is all about more practice only, more and more practice. Longer the practice, the better it is. It takes time. Maybe this, I think this question, the person who questioned also still maybe in their 20s, still got time. Practice more. For those of you, I see liao leh, and then I can't. Anyway, if we are still not dead yet, then we still can able to do something about it. Huh? Okay. Okay, next question. Greetings, Bhante. I've listened with keen interest Bhante's comments on Dharma speakers presenting diluted talks regarding the 37 practices, regarding the practices of the 37 factors of enlightenment, which comprises the 5 faculties. Would the same view be true of meditation-relation topics such as the 5 hindrances? Will it be inappropriate to talk about the hindrances as mundane everyday factors? Thank you, Bhante. Okay. Now, for those who are not here, I've been giving a talk on these 5 faculties and also a bit on an overview on the 37 factors of enlightenment. I mentioned let's summarize those things. I mentioned it that sometimes Dharma speakers tend to dilute the 37 factors of enlightenment into a very ordinary practice, like an everyday practice. But whereas the 37 factors of enlightenment is not meant for your everyday practice, it's meant for when you are striving. That means when you are meditating. That means you are intensively meditating, not your daily meditation also. And unless you have able to go in some deeper form of concentration. But if you cannot able to do that, then these 37 factors of enlightenment has not arises in you. So therefore, it has to go into a long practice, a deeper practice, then these 37 factors of enlightenment become clear to the yogis. Especially when you notice that your noting mind can notice the objects much more clearer, which is the sign of the 37 factors of enlightenment are building up in you. Okay? Now, so to the 5 faculties, as I mentioned, that sometimes people use the 5 faculties, which one of the faculty is mindfulness. One of the faculty may be effort. Usually sometimes you use the word mindfulness in terms of like your everyday daily mindfulness. You are washing your hands a little bit, or you are being present there, or you are doing other things with some awareness or some mindfulness. You thought that these are faculty of this one of the faculty which under the 5 faculty, which is actually this is not. They are only ordinary mindfulness, but they are not come into faculties yet. So faculties means it's a deeper aspect of mindfulness, deeper aspect of energy, deeper aspect of concentration. So this is what we meant here. So we should not dilute the 37 factors of enlightenment to the ordinary level. Now the question here, would the same view be true in meditation topics such as 5 hindrances? Would it be inappropriate about talk about hindrances and the mundane everyday factors? Actually, for 5 hindrances, it is okay to use it even for your everyday life too. I've seen these 5 hindrances in places in suttas. I've seen it that the Buddha used it also in the everyday settings also. In the everyday settings. But more often than not, these 5 hindrances are connected to in the time of practice. Connected to the time of practice. Although when you use these hindrances as a daily aspect of it, is still not wrong, because hindrances is defilements, and defilements connected from all your sensual desire, your gross sensual desire, to your subtle form of sensual desire. In that sense, so 5 hindrances comprise of, like, for example, from your puthujjana, and you are not meditation, and you have all kinds of desire and anger, so on, all the way up to anagami. All the way up to anagami. All these things you can put it as under hindrance. But more often than not, as I said, the 5 hindrances usually, is mentioned within the aspect of people who are striving. The monks are striving. The monks are being overcome by hindrances and things like that. So usually, they are connected with the development, mental development, in the sense that when you are doing vipassana or samatha, then you also overcome by the hindrances. So something like this. So if you use these hindrances in the everyday factors, also is not wrong. It's totally not wrong. Okay. Next question. Oh, next question is going to be a bit susah. Bit difficult. Okay. The question is, what is the meaning on the 28, 1 and 5? This one, you read also your opening. All right. What is 28, 1? State conditioned by the path is related to the state with path object by object condition. Noble person, having emerged from path, review the path. By the knowledge of penetration into others' mind, they know the other minds being conditioned by the path. Aggregates conditioned by the path are related to knowledge of penetration into others' minds, knowledge of remembrance of past existences, knowledge of future existences, advertence by object conditioning. Object conditioning, sorry. So 5 here, again here, state dominated. This is a bit slightly different. Here is state conditioned. The other one is state dominated by the path. It's related to the state with the path object by object conditioning, by object condition. The noble person, again, the same thing. The same thing just now what we read over there. So, what does it mean here? Can you understand? When I read this, also I don't understand. This paragraph here, I mean this part here, when this, this a photo here. It's taken from Abhidhamma, from the Abhidhamma Pitaka, from the Abhidhamma Pitaka, book 7. Book 7 is the Patthana, conditional relations, or conditional relations. And that Patthana is one of the most difficult to understand of this one. It's not easy to understand, this Patthana. When you talk about this conditioning, understand this conditioning is where your vipassana comes in. Then only you really truly understand. I mean, you generally are able to understand what it meant by all this conditioning. Other than that, conditioning is very difficult for us to understand, because therefore, once difficult to understand the nature of conditioning, then therefore the aspect of non-self is also difficult to understand. That's why a lot of times we have very difficult for us to understand what is the meaning of non-self. Now, in an easy form of what you mean by conditioning is that understanding of karma and its resultant. Now, karma is resultant. When we understand that too, this is a kind of conditioning aspect also, because there's karma and there's a resultant. In that sense. And also, if you are in the state of meditation, usually we ask you to notice the intention. When you notice intention, your hands move or your legs move. Not what you want, but because the intention is there, they can see that the hands or the legs are moving. So this one you can able to directly see. When you directly see these things, you see the nature of conditioning. So this book is about those things. It's much more elaborated and so much more than what I've said just now. Now, here we come back to the question here. Noble person emerge from the path, review the path. by knowledge of penetration into others' mind. Okay, forget about knowledge of others' mind first. Here, a noble person emerged from the path, reveal the path. What do you mean by emerge the path, reveal the path? This means the noble person come out from the insight number 16. Insight number 16. Insight number 14 and 15 is the path and the friction consciousness. Once you come out from the path and friction, then you see Nibbana as they really are. But insight number 16, which I think I've talked about that somewhere in the 3 months ago, 4 months ago, 4 months ago, when you talk about the third noble truth, and how does the whole process of enlightenment take place. Before enlightenment, during after enlightenment, and after enlightenment, what does the person go through? I spoke about that quite a lot. If you want, you have to go back to those talks to pick it up. This is on the third noble truth. Now, reviewing the path here, when you say that you emerge from the path and you review the path, here it means that you review the process of the enlightenment that the noble person has gone through. Meaning to say that he reviews the path consciousness, he reviews the path consciousness, he review the friction consciousness, and the person also reviews path conscious. You review the path, you review the friction, you review the Nibbana, the three factor. These three things. Another two things that this noble person will review is that the defilements are still there or not there, or the fetters that's still there or already eradicated. For example, if this noble person is a Sotapanna, he able to review his fetters. When he reviews his fetters, he review on the doubt, the skeptical doubt. And the skeptical doubt, he noticed that this skeptical doubt is totally eradicated. It cannot arise anymore in the future. Then he knows that skeptical doubt is already gone. Now, let's say he reviewed the next one. He reviews the sensual desire. When he reviews that sensual desire, he noticed that this sensual desire is still arising and passing away. That means if there's a arising and passing away, that means sensual desire still there. And earlier on, when he reviews the skeptical doubt goes into cessation. When it goes into cessation, that means it will not come up in the future anymore. This is not just a simple review. This is when if the Sotapanna has a penetration of the wisdom must be strong in order able to review these things. So when able to review these things, he knows that there are certain factors I already removed, certain factors removed. There are certain factors I have not removed it yet. So he's reviewing the path. The path, if you are in American, the path. By the way of penetration into others' mind, they know the other's mind being conditioned by the path. Okay, now this one, by the way of knowledge of penetration in other, this one is optional. Not every noble person has this penetration into others' mind or how they are connected to past existence or remember in the future life, past lives and all that thing. Not all this one they have it. Now, since we are talking about these things, let me go down a little bit. I'll show you something. Can you all see? All right. 6 abhinya. Okay. Higher knowledge. One is the psychic power, such as going through a water, you have a divine ear, Dibasota, or you have a penetrating knowledge. That means you can able to read other people's mind. This is what just now mentioned by this one. Remember one's former abodes. Recalling, that means recalling one's past lives. divine eye, that means you can know others' karmic destination. That means I see you, you do this, kind of like your future destination, I can able to know, I can able to predict, for example, the divine eye. Extinction of mental intoxicants. Here is the Arahant. All Arahant have this number 6. All Arahants have number 6. 1 to 5 is optional. 1 to 5 is optional. For example, like Sariputta and Venerable Sariputta and Moggallana, they have all these 6. They have all these 6. But some monks, they don't have all these 6. Now, some monks during in the Buddha's time also, they have these 3 only. Devija. This one also, remember once from abode's divine eye, people's karmic, this one, and extinction of mental intoxicants. This is where the night of the night when the Buddha was, the Bodhisattva was gaining enlightenment. Then he has all these things. He can able to see into other people's, remember one's former life, divine eye, and finally all this mental intoxicant or asawa or all the defilements are eradicated. So here it's mind penetrating knowledge. Okay. So as I said, this one is optional. All these are optional. Number 6 is not optional for an Arahant. Okay, let's go back here again. Okay. Now, by the knowledge of penetration into others' mind, they know others' mind being conditioned by the path. Here, if the person has this power to able to penetrate into others' minds, then he knows that how others' mind is being conditioned by the path. In what way? In the same way that when he reviews his own defilements, okay, skeptical doubt, I already know more. If he's an Arahant, let's say this noble person is an Arahant, when he reviews all his fetters, everything is eradicated. Everything is eradicated. And let's say this Arahant has the power to penetrate into others' mind. Then it becomes interesting. When he becomes to penetrate into others' mind, he immediately can know whether your fetters or your fetters or your defilements are already eradicated or not. That means the other person may be a noble person, but he may not have eradicated any form of, and it may not eradicate all the fetters yet. There's some fetters perhaps eradicated already. So they can exactly know where you are. Or conditioned by the path also. That means those beings and mind conditioned by the path, that means these others, they can know those who already have enlightenment. If connected with this. But doesn't mean that they just know only those people who are conditioned by the path. But they also can know those people who are not conditioned by the path too. It means that those people who are not attained yet, you can able to know whether you have already gone through attainment or not, a proper attainment or not, by just going into your mind and review your fetters, not one owns fetters. So this one, they can able to do that. They can able to review those things. So aggregates conditioned by the path are related to the knowledge of penetration into others' mind, knowledge of remembrance of past existence and of future. Now, all these things are by object conditioning. That means the path here is the path consciousness. I would say so. That they are. That once you have this conditioning, you will have all your defilements will be conditioned by it, in the sense that if you are an sakadagami, your sensual desire is conditioned in such a way that it is not strong anymore. It is conditioned in such a way that it's not strong anymore because of the path. The path of the other person has already got it, and also the anger or the ill will also because of its because of the second path, then it conditioned the anger to become weakened also. In that sense, yeah, conditioned by the path and so on. Then, of course, he can able to know whether he can able to know the future and so on is another thing. Huh? This is what you call by conditioned by the path. Dominated by the path is that sometimes because of the enlightenment process that one attains, once attained the enlightenment process, the other person's behavior, that means his mind and body, that means his five aggregates, his behavior is conditioned by the nibbana. And not to say, you see, nibbana also is it can condition other, but nothing can condition it. That's the thing. The path, since we're talking about the path here, then here, the nature of the path, because of his enlightenment, his behavior, his speech, his thoughts, are conditioned by those things, and therefore it becomes his character. And when it becomes his character, then in a sense that it is dominated by the path. After a while, after he becomes that, because the path is strong, it becomes a character of the person. Becomes the character of the person. Then it knows that the one that knows the mind, it knows that that path has conditioned that person to behave in such a way, to talk in such a way, to think in such a way. That means he will not able to think in the sense of lying, killing, stealing, sexual misconduct. He will not able to do those things anymore because of the path factor. It's conditioned the person's mind in that sense. So here the aggregates dominated by the path are related to the knowledge of penetration of the other's mind, past existence and future existence. All the past existence, future existence, you don't ask me because 我不知道。If I know, if I know, very, very busy already. Anyway, I don't know all this stuff. I don't know much of all this stuff, abhignana and all that thing. So I can explain it to you what I can able to understand. Okay, so something like that is. This whole book is a very, very difficult book. When you read, you totally mong cha cha. That's about it. Any more questions? Let me see. Hold on. Okay, there's no more. No, this one. Nothing on the chat. All right. So we stop here for tonight. We continue the Dhamma talk on these faculties on Monday, same time. Okay, let's share merits.